Okay, so right off the bat, and just so we're all agreed, do not do this. That's off the table. But there are times when you're faced with an unknown kid absolutely tearing it up and the caregiver is zoned out. What are your options here? Do you go in for a full noise growling?
Hey, you little scoundrel! That is not how you behave at the park!
Or try the gentle uncle approach.
Hey, mate. Hey, just so you know, we don't really do that at the playground, okay? I've got a full nappy.
Or do you approach the oblivious caregiver?
Hey, excuse me, your kid's being a real ratbag out there.
Oh my gosh, this guy just came up to me in the park and started telling me how to parent my child. Take him down, Mom Nation. Get him. Get him. He's trying to tell us how to parent.
That seems awkward. Is it easier if you're related?
Let him quit! It's supposed to be the fun, Auntie.
If we're all to get along, we need some help navigating this minefield.
Well, we've got the best person for the job, parenting expert Justin Colson. Justin, why is this such an awkward social situation, do you think?
Jesse, I reckon there's a few things going on. First off, we want to look like we are good parents. And so when somebody comes up to us and says that our kids are doing something that isn't socially appropriate, it's really easy to get defensive. And frankly, nobody likes being told what to do, especially being corrected in public about their kids. It's such a tough issue.
So we shouldn't approach the child? We should go to the parent? Is that your advice?
So this is a tricky one. I reckon there's 3 different ways that we can approach it, all right? So approach number 1, you can approach the parents. So if you take this route, what I think we want to do is state very softly that something like this. Our 2 kids seem to be struggling at the moment, and I thought if we approached them together, we might be able to see if we can help.
What if you don't even then get a good reaction from them, if they're aggressive, or if perhaps they actually think there isn't a problem and that you're creating one that's not there?
This is where it gets really tricky, and that's why I generally discourage approaching the other parent. And I guess the other thing here is there's not going to be an answer for every situation all the time. So we've got to be discerning. If they look like they're going to be pretty reasonable, give it a go. If not, all you do is say, hey, it's okay, I'll check it out. The second approach is that you can go to the child. When you take this approach, you need to be really careful that you don't come in all guns blazing, because if the parent is across the park and they see what you're doing, again, it's going to escalate. So I recommend a script like this. Hey guys, is everything okay? And the third approach is you actually intervene. I really only recommend this if things have really quickly escalated and if they've become physical. If you intervene, best to just get in, get your child and move to another place. Try everything you can to avoid touching the other person's child. Otherwise, again, you end up with usually an unhappy escalation.
Okay, I've got a situation that I want you to imagine. I'm sitting on a plane seat and there's a baby in front of me, and the father is holding the baby, so the baby is facing back towards, screaming at me directly. Am I able to bribe the child to make it shush?
Yeah, the way that I would approach that is I would just gently tap the dad on the shoulder. Now, dad or mum or whoever's holding the baby is probably going to be feeling a little bit sensitive. And I'd just say, hey, I've got these little finger puppets. Could I play with your little son or daughter? Or I've got this little baby snack that happens to be in my bag. Would your son or daughter like this?
Just to be clear, I'm a 35-year-old man with no children. You can't see me, but it'd be weird if I had a bunch of finger puppets that I'm flying around New Zealand with.
People might call the police if you did that. Maybe you find another solution, like, tap on the shoulder and say, hey, I'm just going to, I don't know, pull faces and play with your little guy.
Yeah.
Love that, Justin. Thanks so much for your awesome advice as always.
Hey, thanks, guys. Great to be with you.
Well, kia ora, welcome along to the project on Friday night. Look, Antonia Prebble's here. And Guy Williams.
I did not bring my finger puppets, unfortunately.
And Laura Tupou, everyone. This is exciting. Exciting for me. This is our 1500th episode of the project tonight.
So good.
And I'm so happy to be spending it with you guys. Thank you for all being here.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
No, it's the 1500th anniversary and none of the stars are here.
Well, sadly, Jeremy and Kanoa had pre-existing obligations.
How could they miss the most important show?
It's a long story, but it's nice to be working with you. We spent many months a couple of years ago in these seats, so nice to be working with you again. And this parenting issue is an interesting one, eh?
Oh, it sure is. I love Justin so much. I want to buy all of his books. I just think his advice is so sensible. Like, these situations are so delicate with so many variables to manage with the kids, with the parents, and his advice just makes me feel like, yes, this would absolutely diffuse the situation.
You know, Laura, I didn't tell you this, but my mum looks after Scout, our 4-year-old, quite a bit, and she took Scout to the playground the other day and ran into Antonia Preble and her little boy Gus.
Aww.
They met for the first time, and my mum described Antonia and her child as feral.
Yeah.
She said they were a real problem. She had to have a bit of a word with you, apparently.
Yeah, she did. Well, I mean, this is why I need Justin's help, because, you know, I perhaps did go over to her at one point and say, get in charge of your child.
Yeah.
Get him in line.
Mum said the West Side came out of you, so I don't know. She seems nice on TV, everyone, but the truth is very different.
Yeah. I hate to say it, it's true. So I need Justin. Thank you, Justin. Yeah.